Hey everyone. So today we're diving into the whole debate around revealing outfits in K-pop, but we're going to look at it from an angle you have probably never, ever heard before. Seriously, forget the usual back and forth because we're looking at a source that reframes this entire conversation in a really deep, philosophical way. As K-pop girl groups have just exploded globally, their outfits have become a major topic of conversation. But is this trend towards more revealing clothing just about artistic freedom? Well, the source we're digging into today argues that it actually points to something much, much deeper. So instead of getting caught up in whether it's right or wrong, our source completely shifts the focus. It suggests that relying on revealing outfits is really just a symptom of a bigger issue, a lack of what it calls inner substance. And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of the whole argument. From this perspective, revealing outfits aren't a sign of confidence at all. Instead, they're kind of a shortcut, something you use when your actual skill or your message isn't strong enough to grab an audience all on its own. Okay, so to really get this argument, we need to understand this key Korean concept, chilyoung. Think of it as a person's inner quality, their substance. It's a mix of their character, their knowledge, their spirit. This idea is basically the foundation for this entire philosophy. And here's where this kind of abstract idea gets super real. According to this philosophy, any fame you build just on exposure, well, it's like a castle made of sand. It's not going to last because it's missing that jilyong, that deep inner substance it needs to stand the test of time. All right, so this whole concept of inner substance, it doesn't just stop with individual artists. It actually builds into a much bigger idea about the right path a culture should take, especially when it finds itself becoming a leader on the world stage. So the source basically lays out two totally different paths you can take. You've got the path of exposure, which is seen as superficial, short-sighted, and then you have the path of substance. And a group like BTS, they're held up as the perfect example of that second path, achieving this insane level of success based on their message and their skill, not just their image. This argument then gets grounded in a really specific cultural identity. The source claims that this path of substance is the one that truly lines up with Korea's history as a nation of scholars and leaders, a culture whose influence has always come from that inner quality, not from superficial displays. And this is where the whole thing just zooms way out. The conversation moves beyond K-pop and into what the source presents as this grand, almost cosmic mission for the entire Korean nation. Now, to understand this mission, you have to know about the concept of chonson. This is a belief that the Korean people are heavenly descendants, and that this unique ancestry gives them a really special role and a big responsibility in the world. And what is that special role? Well, it's guided by this principle, Hangik Ingon. This is the founding ideal of Korea, and it basically translates to a mission to live and to act in a way that benefits all of humanity. So you see, these big philosophical ideas, they're not just talk. They come with this huge responsibility. According to this view, Korean culture has a destiny to lead the world by setting a higher standard, and not just in music, but in everything: society, food, clothing, the whole shebang. But here's the catch. This global leadership role, it's not for right now. The source says the present is a transitional period. It's a time for preparation. So the goal shouldn't be chasing fame, but quietly building that collective jilyang to get ready for what's supposed to come next. So, okay, this is a massive cosmic philosophy, right? But how in the world does that translate into something a normal person can actually do? Well, the speaker provides a very concrete path for personal change. It's a personal 100-day challenge. And the rules, they sound so simple, but think about it, they're really tough. For 100 days, you have to stop all complaining, and you have to stop blaming other people. Then you're supposed to take all that energy you saved and redirect it toward improving yourself, like listening to teachings or reading a book. And the promise here is pretty profound. The idea is that by doing this simple but difficult practice, you can fundamentally change your own jilyang. And this internal shift is said to attract positive energy and literally change how the world and all the people around you see you and respond to you. This quote really brings the entire philosophy full circle, doesn't it? The message is the same whether you're a K-pop star or an entire nation. Real power can only be safely handled by those who have actually worked on and developed their inner substance. Without it, influence just leads to chaos. So we end right where we started, connecting a single personal choice to a massive collective destiny. This philosophy suggests that the path to global leadership doesn't start with governments or big companies, but with you, with individual transformation. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to chew on. What is the true power of our own inner substance on the world's future?